Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Pelicans versus Heat NBA matchup on Friday, February 23rd, 2024. If you like all the free picks we do at Pick Dawgz, you'll love our premium picks, our best bets. Use the discount code PICK for 15% off. We also have products meant for people who make big bets, people who have big bankrolls looking for that concierge one-on-one style service. All you have to do is text the number that you see on the screen because they're not available on the website. So if you make big bets, text the number. But let's get to this one. We've got the Pelicans taking on the Heat. Pelicans on the back-to-back after playing on Wednesday night. Meanwhile, the Heat coming in first game after the All-Star break. You know, the Heat never really looked like they had it together during the first half of the season, but still are above, 500, 5 games over. And I think the thing about the Heat is if they can play at that kind of mishmash, not at the top of their game type level and still have a winning record, it just kind of goes to show you what kind of potential this team actually has. They've had players in and out of the lineup all season long, and this has become typical of what we've seen from the Heat in recent years. Of course, the Heat have been to the NBA Finals representing the Eastern Conference 2 of the last 4 years. Meanwhile, when we look at the Pelicans, 33-22, we're starting to see all that potential come onto the court and be, a team, a real good team, something that, a lot of teams never get to. It's like they're always a team with a lot of potential. But the Pelicans, we see them here at 11 games over 500 and, playing some of their best basketball. They were at least coming into the break. They've also been solid against the number at home, and the Heat solid against the number on the road. This shapes up to be a very good game. Certainly the Pelicans have a lot of good younger players looking to take it to the next level, while the Heat, more veteran team, and the Heat have won 9 of the last 10 meetings of these two teams, even though this is the first meeting of these two teams this year. The Heat went into the break winning 4 of their last 5 games. The only game that they lost in Boston or at home against the Celtics by 4, in a game they were getting 8. The Heat had covered 5 in a row going into the All-Star break. In fact, they had covered 7 of 8. They were absolutely lighting it up. And it wasn't just against the bad teams either, like the Spurs. They were beating up on some of the better teams as well. When we look at the Pelicans, what we've seen from this team for the bulk of the year is they lose to the really good teams, they beat the bad teams. Of course, there's outliers that are in there where a bad team will beat them, or they'll beat a good team, like when they beat the Clippers 117-106 in LA. But outside of that, it is held pretty much part of the course when you look at their wins and losses. When you look at the Pelicans, though, and you looked at their recent play heading into the All-Star break, I thought it was way overstated because they played against a lot of bad teams, and they played against the Bucks and the Celtics. They lost both of those games, and when they played against the Lakers, they lost against them too. All the rest of the games were the games that they won. When you kind of look at the tail of the tape here, the Pelicans, certainly guard the perimeter really well. Their defense is good. The Heat, their offense is not great, that's for sure. Kind of middle of the road from the perimeter and from the floor, 24th best in the NBA. The Heat's defense certainly hasn't been what it can be, and I think they've been middle of the road again. This is why the Heat come up and bite bettors later on in the season and in the postseason. Last year in the postseason, we cashed like crazy betting the Heat on the money line against teams like the Bucks and the Celtics. It was just straight money. Yeah, they won the series against the Celtics 4-3, but the games that they won as a money line dog were all plus 270 or better. So it was like winning 8 games and losing 3, or winning 9 games and losing 3. And against the Bucks, it was even bigger payouts than that in that 4-1 beatdown. I'm not saying this Heat team is ready to go to the finals today, but I do think they're good enough to hang in there with the Pelicans. I'm going to take the Heat, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. It's 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.